Hey everybody, Justin here from AtoxicGeeks.com with JLock entry number 3. Today's topic, I'll be talking about two of my favorite RPG franchises, Tales of and Final Fantasy. And you can call this basically Tales of versus Final Fantasy. Which one do I think is better? Which one I am looking forward to the most as the next gen consoles are now here? Well, before I begin and start talking about it, I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. Welcome to 2014, and to everybody watching and to all my readers, may it be blessed. Now, let's talk a little bit about Tales versus Final Fantasy. Now, growing up, to give you a little history, the most definitive RPG, if you ask me when I was younger in my teenage years, what did I play the most? Final Fantasy, hands down. I honestly thought Final Fantasy was the greatest RPG series of all time. And there's the reason why I said I honestly thought it was. Because as I got older, I started exploring more RPG franchises. And one of the first ones I started to explore, like early on, when I started, leaving Final Fantasy alone, was the Tales of series. And I fell in love with it from the beginning. The anime type of style of the universes, the gameplay, the characters, the more deeper storylines that Tales has. Tales tends to get a little preachy with the messages, though, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know, Tales, with both games reaching their 15th entries coming soon, with Tales of Zestiria being the 15th entry for the Tales of series and Final Fantasy 15 being the 15th entry of Final Fantasy, it's time that we can look back at these games and say, okay, who actually really is the most dominant franchise? Who actually is really the king of the RPG world? And honestly, I'm going to give you what I think is the best one, from just based on certain aspects of gameplay, story, characters, and music, and just, impact in the gaming community in general. So, first I want to start off with music. Who has the best music? Hands down, it's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, hands down, to me, has the best music out of the two. I'm not a big fan of Tales' music. I wish they would step it up a little bit more. They have started stepping it up a little bit more, and you see that in signs of Exalia, Symphonia. The problem that I have with the Tales music is that it's not really definitive. And what I mean by that is that when you listen to Final Fantasy's music, you can tell, okay, that's Tifa's theme. That's Cloud's theme. That's Cecil's theme. That's Eunice's theme. These themes and music relate to the character. It relates to the story. It personifies these people. It personifies the universe. It gives even more of a voice to what already was written and created. With Tales, you don't really get that feeling from it. You don't really feel, okay, this is Lloyd's theme, or okay, this theme can really relate to who Lloyd is. It's kind of generic, honestly, and I'm hoping that in the future that Tales will really start to go the Final Fantasy route when it comes to music, and really start taking a little bit more time. And music is just as important as gameplay for me when it comes to RPGs. The music adds to the experience. It brings you more into the world. For me, that is. It might not be the same for some of you gamers out there who love this genre as well. But for me, the music is a very important factor in RPGs, especially when there's not really much dialogue. Especially when you're free roaming into a town. The town needs to have this type of theme. And Tales has its moments musically wise, but it doesn't really stand out as much as Final Fantasies. Like, Final Fantasy themes are epic. It brings you in, and that's basically because of the composer and the composition and things that's written. Tales really needs to step it up when it comes to that. Now, I'm going to head into gameplay. So, when it comes to music, I'm giving it to Final Fantasy all the way. Final Fantasy just definitely hands down better than Tales when it comes to music. Gameplay-wise, this is on preference, and some people might be shocked about this, because if you go back to the site, you'll see how much I really truly do love Final Fantasy. It's my first, and I love it to death. Gameplay wise, I'm going with Tales of, because while I love the turn-based style of Final Fantasy, at the time, yes, it was great. At the time, it was it was wonderful. And you're starting to see how Final Fantasy is starting to change its gameplay up a little bit, especially when it comes to Lightning Returns and Final Fantasy 15. They're giving you more of that Kingdom Hearts type of gameplay because they're starting to realize, okay, the turn-based is now getting a little bit outdated. I'm, as the biggest nostalgic person